So the start of Bruno Ball hasn't quite gone to plan. The first pre-season friendly is finished. Crewe Alexandra 1, Wolves 0, but definitely some promising signs. Of course, pre-season is always difficult to judge. First game back after summer. First game under a new manager as well. First game in a new system. So you never know what to expect really. But we sort of a large chunk of the squad missing. I think a couple of players did themselves proud, or at least, did quite well. So Wolves started with a 4-4-2, which was fantastic to see, something a little bit different. Hoping to see that a little bit more with more attacking intent. It was John Ruddy to start in goal. We saw Marcel at left back, right back as Kiana Hoover. Centre backs were Max Kilman and Willy Bolly. Ryan Aït-Nouri starting at left midfield, Francisco Trincao for the first time in the Wolves shirt on the right-hand side. We saw Taylor Perry start in the middle with Morgan Gibbs-White and Fabio Silva up top with Mr. Raul Jimenez. And how good was it to see him back on a football pitch and back in a Wolves shirt as well. And first half was what you'd expect from an exhibition match, really. Quite slow-paced, players getting used to the ball, but sort of that first 45 for Wolves, they looked really, really strong on the ball. Some really nice movement. You saw Fabio and Raul, one of them always sort of drop deep into the midfield, almost as that number 10 to pick up the ball and help out. But Jimenez only lasted about half an hour. I'm assuming because of such a long time out, they're just slowly trying to regain his fitness. And hopefully by the end of pre-season, we can see him getting much more football in there. We saw Patrick Catrone replace him, possibly. Third time lucky for him, of course. First chance at Wolves, loaned out. We thought he'd gone. He came back for a little stint. That didn't work out, and he's back now under Bruno Lage, and it will be very, very interesting to see how he gets on. Of course, he's probably had the best opportunities of the game for Wolves. He had one right towards the end of the second half. It was a fantastic ball through by Morgan Gibbs-White, and in the end, a decent save by the goalkeepers. Tried to sort of dink it over him. But in terms of first half performances, you could see Trincao very, very tidy on the ball. A little bit disappointed with some of his passing and sort of the end product. I think the end product overall from the team wasn't quite there today. And Aït-Nouri looked really silky at times. Just created some of the moves and attacking movements, which similar to how we saw him start some moves last season as well, really. But other than that, I think the first 45, the whole game in general, you can't sort of look into it and read into it too much. Second half was when I expected things to be a little bit different. I knew with the squad, pre-season, you normally see a completely different team in the second half, and that's exactly how we saw it. So it almost went from a Wolves first team Premier League side to an under-23s team completely. So I think off the top of my head, Ruddy in goal, Max Kilman stayed on. I think Christian Marquez at centre-back, Jack Scott at right-back, Hugo Bueno at left-back, Chem Campbell at left midfield. Otasawi came on in the midfield with Luke Kundal on the right. And then up front, we saw Catrone stay on with Dadashov. There was another central midfielder, which I've missed off there, which I do apologise for. Let me see if I can find out who that was whilst I'm speaking still. But it was Pascal Estrada, that came on in midfield. I really can't even remember him having much of the ball, to be honest. But Wolves did concede in the end. Crewe did go 1-0 up. He looked miles offside. I think it would have been very, very tight. I think the ball may have been played sort of slightly backwards in the end. Dreadful defending by Wolves, to be honest, for that goal, and obviously allowed Crewe to go ahead there. And Wolves had a couple of opportunities, but again, nothing too clear cut. And I think from the performance today, I'm very, very happy with how the system looks and the potential it has, but I think we still got to add that little bit more creativity. And when it's your first game back after a long break, 45 minutes, it might take you 45 minutes to get into the game. So, of course, it's all about fitness. It's all about building up that fitness and building up that match sharpness. And possibly when our first team got to that minute when they were ready, they had to be subbed off anyway. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, we see the performances start growing with the fitness and the sharpness of the players. And I'll be intrigued to see who Bruno takes to Spain with them as well next week. If any of those 23 players do get missed out, I still suspect a big chunk of them will travel to Spain. But we will see the likes of Neves, Semedo, Matinho, then Donker, Mosquera, all of those to join in with the squad as well. But positives, negatives, overall, players that stood out for me. I think first half, I think Morgan and Taylor Perry had a very, very interesting first half together, very decent midfield partnership. Second half, I really like Hugo Bueno. He always catches my eye when he plays for the 23s as well. And I think left back is quite a stacked area now, but Hugo Bueno definitely today sort of showed why, he maybe deserves to be in Bruno Lage's plans, or definitely in the back of Bruno Lage's mind throughout the rest of pre-season. But in the end, it does finish Crewe 1, Wolves 0. But decent pre-season outing. Do let me know your thoughts if you caught the game in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you do, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon.